Welcome back to True Tall Tales, when reality is stranger than fiction. My name is Sunny Boy, and we have a special guest on this week's show. He's been on my show many times, and he will be on next week's episode, which will be a three-way interview. Woohoo! My first threesome. Well, not technically, but he's on today's episode as my co-host. And when you get two people with ADHD, it is like China doing ping pong at the Olympics. So it will be a good episode. And I'm telling him a true tall tale today. And I like having Dan on the show because he has the best voice. Like when people like Morgan Freeman, like Kate Blanchett, has such a deep, nice, resonant voice. You do have a very good podcast. Dan
That's
the man, welcome to
me.
the show.
Thank you, Sonny. Very excited to be back with you.
And thank you so much. I know it's early, so I really appreciate your time because it's all about time. But I have a true tall tale for you. I have two true tall tales. The first one being, I was talking to my new mate the other day. When I say new mate, I made my first friend living in the new area that I'm living in.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and you know what it's like to make a new mate. Like, you're one of my best mates, you know? And when you make a new mate, it's like, it doesn't happen often as you get older and stuff like that. It depends what job you're in, you know what I mean? If you're in hospo, it's easy. It depends. If you work from home, it's not going to happen and things like that. Anyway, it was like my gym mate. We met at the gym and then we like became friends. Anyway, he doesn't live here anymore, but funny story. I did do a podcast episode of how we met on my last episode. You probably haven't listened to it, but that's not what this...
I know that story.
You know the gist? My highest downloaded episode, by the way. My highest downloaded episode.
Give the people what they want, Sonny.
I know. What, the banana in the hostel? Would you rather be the guy that got his dick sucked, or would you rather be the mate that woke up and saw it happen? Like, so fucked up. So fucked up.
Yeah.
Anyway.
That is a real philosophical, twisty, curly question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so you were saying.
No, don't be sorry. So where I'm going into this is Levi. We'll call him. So Levi bought his first suit the other day. He had a wedding to go to. And I was like, I know how that feels to buy your first suit. And I remember, like, you feel important. You feel like everyone looks amazing in a suit, and you get into character. Like, am I Wolf of Wall Street? Am I this person? Do I own should we go to the casino? Like, you just get all these images, and he was so excited about it. And it just triggered my memory of the first time I bought a suit, which is one of my true tall tales, is when I first moved to Sydney when I was 18, all the way from Queensland. And being a little country kid, when you move to Sydney, high-rise buildings, you know, it was like I was in New York, concrete jungle in Sydney. And, you know, just being 18, like, your dreams are just infinity of like who you want to be and what you want to do. And also, I remember,
like when you look around, you think everyone's got it all figured out,
right?
You know what I mean? Like, oh wow, they're walking with purpose.
Oh wow, he's got a leather satchel. Like, you know what I mean? He must be rich. Like, oh, R.M. Williams, rich. Like, yeah. So, in context of that, when I was 18, innocent, moving down, country kid, before I started uni, I got a full-time job in an office building. And that for me was exciting. I was on the 34th floor, getting in an elevator, ding. You know, I got excited about walking into the building where the glass doors spin around. I was like, woo! Yeah. I was like Mr. Bean, right? I was like that's how innocent and like country kid to the city I was, that I was exciting about a rotating glass fucking door. Anyway, so I was just like I was 18. I was like a mail room clerk where I was just bringing all the mail and scanning files and doing admin stuff. But I felt important. I was young. I was independent. I left home and I was working full time, you know? And that's such a beautiful feeling. So first paycheck comes. I was like, oh my God, my first paycheck. I'm a city boy now. I work on the 34th floor with rotating glass doors. And it's the most money I've ever made. And I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. It's in my bank. I can't stop looking at it. And I'm just like, wow, I'm rich. Like, what am I going to spend my money on? Blah, blah, blah. This is so much money. I pay rent, but I still got heaps of money left. So I went and bought a suit.
Nice.
As you do in the city, like, you know what I mean? And I'm suit shopping, young boy, sunny boy, 18 years old, buying a suit. And I'm just like, oh my God. And, you know, I put on the suit, I buy it. They even give you how it comes in that, like, it's not even like a bag. It's like a posh bag. You know, those bags they put in the suit where it folds over and it's like material. And I was
Yeah,
like,
it's got like
and
the little like see-through like plastic like
yeah,
circle on it
it's
as
even got a
well.
zip. It's got the zip
Yeah,
as well.
crazy.
And I'm hanging that over my shoulder, walking through the city with the other city people. Look at me. I'm one of you now too. I have a suit.
I've made
You
it.
know? You know that feeling? And I was like, this is me. I'm so excited now. And I felt important. And that's why, like, when my mate said that to me, I know how they feel, right? And I
Yeah.
still feel like that in a suit. Like, I love suits.
Yeah.
I own like 6 suits now. Anyway, so that was the best week of my life. I wore the suit out. I went for a drink. And where the story leads into is next week's pay comes, right? I've just worked my second week of working there. What am I going to spend my big city money on now? Do I buy another suit? So anyway, time comes around and my pay didn't go in. I was like, fuck, I've got to pay rent. I've spent all my money on a fucking $700 suit. Like, what's going to happen? So I went to accounts and I was like, hey, or emailed them, I think it was, like, you guys didn't pay me. Like, my pay didn't go through. Is everything all right? Has it changed the days? And they're like, Sonny, you get paid monthly.
Oh. No. Oh, son.
I know. It was so sad. I'm like, what do you mean monthly? And monthly is so normal for like jobs in the city and businesses.
Yeah,
And I've
totally.
never
But
got, well, I was
monthly
18.
is-
I never knew this.
But monthly's so far away if you've
So
blown
far
all of
away.
your cash in the first week.
First week gone. 18-year-old Sonny. Fucking idiot. Oh, and my mum would say, idiot. You're fucking Sonny boy. You're idiot. Like, I was so embarrassed. And I was like, oh, okay. And in my mind, I'm freaking out. Like, what am I going to do? Like, so for the next 3 weeks, I think I borrowed money off my brother or something like that to pay for the rent or something. I would have went to my brother, embarrassed as well. So I just ended up for the next 3 weeks sitting in my suit eating megarang noodles.
Do you know what is so crazy? My next question was going to be, what was your diet for that 3.5 weeks?
Megarang noodles. You know what? I was poor for the next 3 weeks. I was ashamed. I was embarrassed. But I was in a fucking suit and I looked fucking sick and I felt important. So that's what got me over the 3 weeks and stuff. I would walk past the mirror. I'm like, oh, Sonny boy, look at you. You're in a fucking suit.
Totally. To the outside world, it looked like you were killing it.
Oh, bro. Anyway, that wasn't even my truth or tale. It was just my mate message. Like, I was talking about the suit and it triggered me. And I was like, oh my God, I need to tell Dan about this because obviously you've been best friends with me for a long time and you probably know all my stories. So I need to tell you new stories.
I haven't heard that story before.
I forgot about it till once again, our brain locks in all these memories that we don't know we have till someone or you meet another mate or have a conversation with someone that says something and it triggers your mind and unleashes it. Like me, ADHD. And I was like, wait, I forgot about that, but it needed something to trigger that memory. Yeah. So what else is stored in my big fat brain that I need to get access to, you know?
What do you want to get off your chest, Sonny?
What I want to get off my chest. My next story is, as you know, one of our best friends, Luke, visited me on the weekend on Sunday, drove all the way from Byron, which is nice.
He came back absolutely glowing.
Oh, he was glowing. We went to Soak Bathhouse and eucalyptus saunas, and you know, you and Jackie's been there before, and then we did the steam room, and then the sauna, and then the magnesium pool. Of course, he was glowing. He got a massage. But so he was glowing. Anyway, when we're there, which is so weird because this always revolves around Luke, I said to him, hey, bro, like I got scammed this week. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, I got this letter. I can show you here. I got this letter in the mail, which you can see here. Look at that. From New South Wales government saying examination notice. Is that how you say that? Yeah. Examination notice. You've got a fine of $120. Now,
what?
I've never had a fine in my life. You know me. I don't get fines. I'm so by the books. Like, I'm so, like, I don't forget things. You know this, right? And I was concerned and I looked at it and it was a $55 first original fine from Sydney from 2021 for not doing local voting. Now, I always vote. And I know this because I've got friends like you and Liam who are so into like voting and things that if I didn't know it was on, you guys would remind me. So it's not as if I'm in that group of circle of friends that I wouldn't know to vote. And I actually like voting as well.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But also, if my memory serves me correctly, 2021 would have been COVID. So wouldn't have that, like, was that like postal voting?
I still don't remember. That's what I'm saying. So when it said it and it said, then you didn't pay the fine, so we're giving you another fine of $120 because you haven't
Whoa.
paid for it. And in my mind, I'm like, but I've never got a reminder. That's what I
Yeah.
said. I said, was I living in Canada then? Like I was trying to backtrack and I was like, no, 2020 I
No,
came
you were
back.
back by then.
Yeah, I was back by then. So I couldn't work it out. And now you're saying 2021. So how is this real, right? And it's 2025. How can I remember 2021? So then they were like, oh, no one said, I wasn't talking to anyone. This is in my head. And then I looked at it and I was like, hang on a minute. They've spelt my name wrong.
What?
And it says, and it's from New South Wales government license. It says and it has my new address here where I'm living at the moment at Queensland. It didn't have, and the only person who would know that address is I didn't convert my New South Wales license to a Queensland license because I didn't want to because it's just too much of a shit show.
Yeah.
So my New South Wales license needed to be renewed when I first moved here.
Yeah.
So I just called up the New South Wales government and said, hey, I'm up here for work in Queensland. Could you just send my ID here? And they said, we've already sent it to your address in Sydney, to the Enmore address. So I got Heidi to pick it up and she sent it to me. So I changed the address with them temporarily, and that's the only time I gave them a call, right?
Yeah.
So then I was like, that's how they have the address where I'm at. But they spelt my name Sonny Joe Flanagan. And Flanagan was spelt wrong with like 2 N's and an I.
Wow.
And I don't have 2 N's and an I. And I'm like, hang on, if this is from the New South Wales government, my license and fines, why would you not have my correct name spelt? Because it's like the government and your license, right?
Yeah.
So I Googled it and it said like, it's a scam. They're sending SMSs out to people, say, pay your fine immediately. And that's what it says. I was like, oh my God, this makes sense. Like, I'm not going to pay it. I don't remember this fine. I've never got like, you need to pay this fine again. I looked on my New South Wales app. If you got a fine, it would come up in your app. Nothing comes up in my app. So I was like, So I was like, you fucking motherfuckers, you nearly got me. I'm so glad I'm onto you, blah, 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 right? This is where the story leads. So I was like, I got over it and I was stressing out because I was like, oh, it's $120 you just don't want to pay, Dan.
Yeah.
I just didn't. So then I met up with Luke on Sunday and I told him his story in the 38-degree sauna when we were at the bathhouse, going round and round doing the magnesium pool. And Luke, being Luke, as you know, goes, Sonny, did you call him? And I said, no, because the number's probably a scam. And goes, just call the New South Wales government, Google it. And I said, but I already know it's a scam, Luke. They spelt my name wrong. If this is coming from them, why would they have my name wrong? Isn't that a red flag? He goes, does it hurt them just to call them? And I was like, but I don't want to. He's like, but why? And I'm like, because it's a waste of my time. Like, I only get a half an hour break at my work. Like, he's like, just call them. I was like, no. And I was like, we had like an argument and stuff. And then anyway, Luke went back to Byron Bay and then it's like Monday. And then I was like, Luke's voice is in my head. Like, just call them. Just call them. I was like, can't get his voice out of my head. So
it's like Kylie Minogue.
Can't get you out of my head. So I could see ADHD, man. You. So I called I know, and this is at 8 o'clock in the morning. Look at her. This is why I love this guy. And look at that beautiful, infectious laugh. Look at it. Listen to him. What a guy. What a guy. So I called them, and it's like a South African lady. And I was like, scam.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm joking. And I was like, I said that because, I don't know why I said that. Because you've been to South Africa? I don't know.
I lived there.
Yeah, you live there. So then I called and I told her, and I was like, and being nice, always. I've just learned customer service, always be nice. They want to help you because they get shit people fucking calling them. They're not going to help you, right? Just in case. Anyway, I tell her the whole story to scam and blah, blah, blah. And then it turns out that she tells me, Dan, it's real. It was a real fine. And I said to her, but how did they have my name spelt wrong? And she goes, look, we're the third party. So you getting the fine in 2021 for not voting in the original the local election, they sent you a fine and you didn't respond to it. And I said, what address did you have for that? And that's when I was testing them, right? And she said, 4 Cleveland Street in Surrey Hills, which was when I lived, know, that house, my house there. And I was like, okay, cool. How would they know that? And I was like, and I haven't lived there for ages. Like, I don't even think I was living there in 2021. No, I wasn't.
You lived
I was living in North Bondi when I got back.
Yeah. You were there before you went to Canada.
Yeah. So anyway, so she's like, that's where we sent it to. I'm like, well, obviously I'm not getting it. Do they not email it to you? Like, do you know what I mean? People move all the time. Like, if they're trying to chase funds, she goes, yeah, well, they post it. They don't email it to you. And because they haven't heard from you in 4 years, we're the third party. Now we're chasing you down. And this is the up-to-date address we had because of your license changeover to send the mail there. And I was like, okay, cool. But I always vote and stuff like that. And I don't even think I was like here. I think I was like overseas. Like, I don't even know if I was still in Canada. Like, and I always would have voted. And she knew that I was like innocent about it. Anyway, in conclusion, she wiped the fine. So I didn't have to pay it, which was
No
really,
way.
really good. Like, she knew that I was like telling the truth. Do you
Yeah,
get what
yeah,
I
yeah.
mean? Like, I'm
Yeah.
trying to chase this up. I'm calling. But
Yeah.
where this story is going is I called up Luke and I was like, Luke, like, I called them. He's like, called who? And I was like, I called you made me call it. And he goes, yeah. And what happened? I go, you're right. It was so funny. He goes, I fucking told you. Like, why just not call them? And I was like, and I'm not stubborn. Like, I own up to my shit. And I was like, I told you. But where this story is turning into a true tall tale, there's a twist to it, and it revolves around Luke. I don't know if you know this, but I think you do. Many, many years ago in Bondi, when I lived there for fucking 12 years.
Yeah.
The first, like I said to you, I've never got a fine before. The first fine I ever got was when I was at, like the huts at Bondi. I don't even know if they have the huts anymore, but Bondi, where the grass is, had huts. And,
Yeah.
me, Ian, my Scottish friends that we worked with and stuff, like, we used to go there after work and like have wine and stuff like that, like our Italian friends. And
Yeah.
Ian, I think you know Ian.
Ian
Anyway,
was the first person to introduce me to Spotify.
oh, really? It's like, damn, like he's really like hypo and ADHD.
Like,
yeah, did he?
Like, if you go like right back to the beginning of my Spotify, it's all playlists that he shared with me.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That's like a really fond memory that's now unlocking your brain that you're like, I know Ian. Ian was the first person that introduced me to Spotify. Like, that's fucking crazy. I don't even know he introduced Spotify to me, but wow, what a good shared moment of you remembering someone like that. You will remember him forever. Like, Spotify?
Ever.
Like, are you kidding me?
I still sometimes see the playlist that like he first sent me.
He's a good guy, hey.
Great guy. Yeah,
so he's the same energy as you and I, hey. Like, really like laughing. He jumps like you, like, So me, him, we're all there, we're like in our early fucking 20, I don't know, we're young, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, Ian, all that, they had like a joint and everyone's like passing on the joint, having wine as you do. And everyone's smoking and stuff. And Bondi, the grass field, used to have shrubs. And when I say shrubs, they used to have like these mini bushes, like of trees. That was like a mini. They don't have them anymore, but back in those days they did. So when we were smoking and having the weed and stuff, if you needed to do a wee, the toilets are so far away to go to like, the bars or something like that. You would actually walk into the shrubs. No one could see you because it's bushes. Animals could be living there and you'd go in there and do a wee, right? So it's like, because I would never be a person that would piss in an alleyway or on the side of a building. And I just wouldn't, because it stinks and blah, blah, blah. I probably have, but I just wouldn't do that. So we're all stoned and drunk now. And I go into the bush, like it's like my fourth piss of the night. It's like 11 o'clock at night. And I go do a wee. And when I was weeing, someone come behind me with the torch, which was quite normal because it was probably like Ian or one of our other friends going to the toilet as well. And I thought it was their phone torch coming in, because you had to turn your phone torch on because it's actually quite dark and bushy and you don't want to prick your eye with a branch. So I thought it was Ian behind me. So when I was weeing, have you seen the movie Forgetting Sarah Marshall?
Yes.
Okay, and just for the listeners as well, because you'll know this reference. So obviously I love that movie, and not because I look like fucking Russell Brand. Not at all. This is prior to me looking like Russell Brand. But Barney from How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
Anyone that has seen the film, yeah. When that was happening, obviously I'm drunk and I'm stoned and it's like one of my mates and it's comedy. I was weeing, thought Ian was behind me, and I turned around, and when I turned around, I went, look what I got for you, and did that like dick thing where you like get your dick and like shake it side to side like he does in the film. If anyone's seen the film, he drops a towel and says to his girlfriend, look what I got for you, and whips it side to side, thinking it was my mate and he would get the movie reference. But when I turned around and did that, do you know this story?
No.
Oh my God. So when I did that and turned around, Dan, do you know who it was?
No.
He was a police officer, right? And I swear to God, to this day, the police officer, and I was in shock, stoned, drunk. I've just like whipped my dick out at this police officer. Like, not as if I whipped it out, I was weeing. He clearly said, But still to this day, I promise you, I seen him holding his laugh. He's obviously seen the film movie reference.
So funny.
And he said, mate, you need to step out of here, please, like that. And I just quickly got it. I was like, and I said to him, oh my God, I thought you were my mate, Ian. I thought you were my mate, Ian. I so apologize. But I was just weeing. I thought you were my mate, Ian. Not as in like I was showing myself to a police officer. Do you know what I mean? Like anyone that was in that scene would know I was referencing a movie. And he knew that I didn't know it was a police officer. So I've stepped out. And there's another police officer, and they're going through everyone's bags, right?
Oh.
And they whip out one of our friend's bags and find needles in it. Our friend has diabetes.
Oh.
Like, you know how diabetics have it, like, well, it's one needle for diabetes, you know, the insulin thing.
Yeah.
And they're going through, and they could smell the weed. No one had any more. Well, they found weed on us, but they didn't fine us for weed. They just said, you know, pack up, leave. Blah. They're probably just so used to it in Bondi. We weren't harming anyone. Now,
I mean, like that was around those days was like peak backpacker in Bondi.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah, 100%. Like they would have been
got
used.
priced out.
So 2 weeks later, maybe a week later, I get an SMS from the police. This is from New South Wales Police. You've got $170 fine for whatever the professional word is for.
What is it, like indecent exposure?
No,
like
not indecent exposure, for pissing in public. What's a professional word for that?
I think it's public urination or
yes,
urinating
it was
in public.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Oh my, Dan, you're so smart. Honestly, you're so smart. You know everything, bro. You're like my walking encyclopedia. So it was that. It was like, not indecent exposure. It was urination in public, blah, blah, blah. Now, everyone knew this story. Like, I'm surprised I didn't tell you, like Liam, like Luke, because I told them this like I'm telling you now of what happened, how it was a police officer, look what I got for you. And then a week later, I get this text message from the New South Wales Police saying I've got a $170 fine for pissing urination. And I said, and I've never got a fine before. And I'm like, who the fuck? What, you think there's a police officer just texting me from his like office saying you've got a fine? So I was like calling everyone. Luke, was it you? And I was like, Dan, was it you? Liam, was it you? Calling all my friends. And Luke, to this day, I go, Luke, I know it's you, because Luke does shit like that. I was going, Luke, I know. And he goes, Sonny, it's not me. I didn't just call. And he said, did you call the number? I said, no, I'm not calling the number because I know it's a fake SMS. And I know it's one of you doing it. You've told Mikey or someone like that, or Adam or something. I was so pissed off because I didn't want it to be real. And when do police officers send text messages like that? I don't know. Maybe they do. I've never got a fine before, and I didn't believe it. So I didn't write back after 2 weeks, maybe, and I forgot about it.
Yeah.
And then I got a follow-up text message, and then I called, and it was real. It was real. And I was like, oh my God. And I had to pay for it. And I was so annoyed. I was like, do I get like a record for this? They're like, no, blah, blah, blah. And like, you just have to pay for the fine. I'm like, I didn't know you guys sent text messages. Like, I'm so sorry, blah, blah, blah. Now,
wow.
Then I called Luke and I said, oh my God, it was real. So how funny that these 2 fines always revolve around me thinking it's Luke, but they're just real fines. Like,
that is amazing. I mean, he's obviously just such a bad influence on you.
I don't know what it is, but hey, now to extend that story, do you reckon that police officer went to work like the next day or that week?
1,000%.
Yeah, thank you. Right, because it's a job. Why wouldn't they tell their friends that? Oh, yeah, I went and like I busted these people. Like they know. It's like like Bondi people smoking weed. They don't care. It's harmless. Funny that. Have you seen Forgetting Sarah Marshall? Yeah, and you're like, the guy was so shocked. He goes, "Look what I got for you."
I think there would have been a few police officers spitting out their coffee hearing that story.
Thank you. So the positive side of that is it was so innocent, and police officers would have millions of stories, and I reckon that's one that police officer will still talk about to this day.
Oh,
and
totally.
He will be like, he looks like Russell Brand. Well, I didn't back then. I had no beard and I didn't have long hair. I looked like fucking Splinter from Ninja Turtles. Fucking rat.
But also, like, think of the shit call-outs that they would get. Like, the ability to tell funny stories would be so
Correct.
important for them.
I know. True, right?
To like get through that job. So really, you performed a public service.
I think I did too. Like I gave them, I made, like, you know what I mean? I could have been like, come on, mate, get in the car, or like arresting or just something that they just don't want to deal with. But like walking to Bondi and just finding people having one cheeky joint with like wine and walking into a bushes with like your torch and look what I got for you. Like I gave him a fucking red light district show.
Stop. You don't even have to go to King's Cross for this show, officer.
Anyway, that was my True Tall Tale.
Well done.
It was good,
That
right?
is- yeah, that is. I can't believe that happened. That's so funny.
Huh?
I can't believe that happened.
Do you know that and I think I told you that you used to be my number 1 most downloaded episode, but now you've gone down to number 2, which is fun. Oh my God, it's like MySpace top 8 friends all over again. And now you're number 2, but you held the reign for a year, just to let you know. And it's interesting because if you want to save this world, it's people like this that are going to save it. And you know what? We've all got one world, and if we don't fix it, then we're all fucked. I'm sorry, we're all fucked.
Yeah. There's...
You know, we already lived on Mars and we fucked up Mars. And how do you think we got here? Adam and Eve got on a pod, left Mars, that shot down, that went to Earth. And when it hit Earth, that's the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs. Fact. Fact.
That is not a fact.
What?
That is not a fact.
Well, in my head it is.
No, I understand that.
Well, we really don't know, really.
We
know an asteroid killed the dinosaurs, but we don't know.
Yes, but we know that it wasn't Adam and Eve coming to Earth in a capsule.
From Mars?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We do know that.
Do you watch Foundation on Apple?
No. I've
I
heard
think
it's
you
very
should.
good.
It's amazing. I mean, I am a sci-fi geek, but it changes your perspective of how does the world work? Are humans, from Earth? Are we not? Where did we come from? Type of thing.
Yeah.
It doesn't go into that, but it gives you, it's good. It's good. I really like it.
How many seasons is it up to now?
It's up to the 3rd season now, which is really good. It's like 1 episode by 1 episode, so it's pretty good. I love for that shit. Hey, speaking of, just quickly, just side note, ADHD. Wait, what were you gonna say? I just cut you off then. Apologies. And then I'll tell you.
Foundation. It's based on books by a guy called Isaac Asimov, I believe, who's kind of considered like one of the fathers of sci-fi, basically.
Oh,
so,
really?
Yeah.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Sort of very, very highly. Him and James Lovelock. Yeah, they're like considered like I think it's James Lovelock.
Dan knows any book that's out there, and anyone that loves tennis like me as well. Dan knows any statistic with with this tennis. You can ask him anything, and it just unlocks his brain. Like if I just said who won Wimbledon in 1994, and he would just know. And I just whip that out, and I'm not even and now I can see him thinking in this interview.
So I'm not entirely sure, but just from a process of elimination, I would say it would probably be Sampras, Agassi, or Michael Chung.
For the listeners listening to this, look it up. He could be wrong, but I'm saying he just does it. He's just good. It's crazy. Are you like this with soccer as well?
It was Pete Sampras.
Oh
awesome.
My God. See, look, he surprises himself. Woo! How dare you underestimate me? Do you know what I mean? You're crazy. I love it.
So he beat Goran Ivanisevic in the finals 7-6, 7-6, 6-love. So it would have been a good first 2 sets, and then obviously blew him away in the 3rd. Maybe Goran was injured, or maybe Pete just took it to another level.
I love that you know that.
I think it's because I enjoy... It's not necessarily that I know it. It's more that I give probability to an answer being correct. So I knew, for example, as soon as you asked that question, I knew around that time it was Sampras's kind of reign. And so it was a high probability that it was him. And he came after Agassi. So if it wasn't him, it probably would have been Agassi. Does that make sense?
It does, but then how does your mind know when I say year 1994? How does it, that's a long time ago.
It is.
That's VHS. That's
definitely VHS. It's
that's cassette.
Big time. That's
not even
Video
CD.
Easy versus Blockbuster.
Yeah. So how do you go? Yeah, it's not even DVD yet. How do you go to if I say year like that for tennis? That's what I mean. I get what you mean because I do it with. I think would you say you've got a photographic memory? Is that even what photographic memory means? Or are you just actually intelligent and that's what happens when you're intelligent? You can just remember a lot of things. I'm just trying to, because I
Well,
can unlock, I have a very good memory.
yeah.
So that's got nothing to do. But then again, do I? Because you've got this is a good memory of you remembering, but maybe I've got a good memory on shit that's not relevant.
I think you have a better memory than me. I
I've
think
got a good memory that I could tell you any
you
story that happened in the past with
correct.
us.
And that was going to be my point. Like there are so many different types of intelligence that we're only really starting to figure out now. Like I think like as you and I came up through school, we were told that smart people were able to do maths and science and remember stuff to do well in exams. And I never did well in exams. I hated exams because I just decided this is such a bullshit exercise, right? Like I'm being asked, and particularly now, like when the skill is actually how quickly can you find the information rather than how much can you remember about a particular topic.
Yeah.
And I think where, like, particularly from an emotional intelligence perspective, which I'd say you're highly emotionally intelligent, like that is a skill that will only become more and more important, and that's your ability to build relationships and communicate with people. Like that is what will retain a premium, no matter what happens from a automation and AI perspective.
God, see, listeners, look at that. I sometimes like I'm doing this interview, but I forget that I'm doing it for the podcast, and you're listening. Like I'm listening, like so true. Like imagine hanging out with this guy. Like he's so fun. Like you just learn so much, and it's like for free. I get it for free. I don't have to pay for this shit. You know, like. And actually, speaking of that, I spoke to Heidi on the phone yesterday, and she
Yeah.
gave a compliment to you and I.
Did she? What'd
Which
she say?
if any, my thing is, people always talk about the bad stuff about people. But if anyone says good stuff about someone, I always tell that person, because I don't think it's like going behind their back. I'm like, like my friend said this about you, and do you know what that's like? Really? Like, did they say that about me? And you're like, yeah, and I'm like, doesn't that make you feel good?
It does, for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, so Heidi said like, that you and I. Because I was saying, I was interviewing you today. That's right. And I said, me and Dan interviewing two ADHD people like ping pong. And I said, the good thing is we know how to bring it back, but where does the conversation go with like ADHD? That's what's so fun about it, because they know how to work off each other, and it can just go
Yeah.
like that. And then
Yeah,
she's like,
yeah.
yeah, but you know what? You're both really, really good listeners. And I think when people meet us at first, because each their own, it seems like I talk a lot, but I think people get surprised when I meet them next time I see them. I said,
Yeah.
"Oh, how was your netball game?
Yeah.
How did you go?" And they're like, "How did you know that?" I'm like, "Oh, you told me." And they're like, "I met you a month ago. Like, how do you remember that?" That even though I'm talking a lot, I listen and I take it in, which is what you just said before. Anyway, Heidi said the same thing about you as well, and I think people don't realize that if they meet us for the first time. I'm not sure. Maybe I perceive myself differently. I don't know.
No, that's a really good point. I mean, that's very kind of Heidi to say. I mean, like she is, since the moment I met Heidi, she's a ball of energy, right? Like super positive energy.
Yep, I agree.
And so, yeah, I'm not surprised that she was saying nice things about us. But I think, I think like as I get older, I'm realizing that there really are kind of two camps of people and the way that they approach the world. And like from a friendship perspective or just a way that they go about the world, like there's the people who will look at others and be jealous of their success, and there's people who look at others and are excited for their success. And I think as you go through life, as long as you keep meeting people who are excited for others' success, then I think you're amongst good people.
Yes, well said, well said. And that's why I've kept you close. And maybe that's why, and you look around our group of friends and stuff like that, and it is like, we're not like you. That's the best thing, right? You get out of high school or your work, you get to choose who you want to be friends with.
Totally.
That's the difference. That's the key word. And it could be someone older than you, younger. It could be someone from another country, someone that's just, don't think that you need to be friends with people that are like exactly the same as you. Yeah, it's fun, like when it's like you do the same things, but it's the ones that you learn from that are completely outside your world.
Yeah.
And that's something I've learned in life. And I think you're the same as like that.
Yeah.
I don't judge a book by its cover. You and I are definitely the person that if we are in some pub and someone can carry a conversation and you carry on and like, I like you, I continue it, right? I'm the same. I've always been like that. And that's why we know who we know.
Yeah. And it's a really good point because maybe 10 years ago, I was listening to a podcast, funnily enough, of a guy by the name of James Altucher, who back then was like really, really quite a thought leader in like entrepreneurship and startups. And he used to talk about the safest place to be is in your comfort zone, but it's also the space that you grow the least. And he said the more you can put yourself just outside your comfort zone, which he called the growth zone, the faster the growth zone becomes your comfort zone. And then you just keep going and going and going. And so you've always got the comfort zone to come back to. But if you're constantly growing and learning, your life trajectory just goes, exponential really, really fast. And I think it's quite easy to pick up when people are in each of those zones. And I think you and I are always looking for the next bit of information that's going to make our brain spark, and we're going to find interesting, and then we're going to grow again. And that's that's why I get quite excited about learning new things, because I kind of see it as a game. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. Like I didn't know that. I had no idea that existed. Cool. I'm just going to add that. Or if I hear something and I'm like, oh, I hadn't actually thought about it from that angle before. That's really interesting. Thanks for sharing that angle with me. And I think just like that, I mean, Steve Jobs said that in one of his commencement, graduation speeches. He said the number one bit of advice I can give to you as a graduating class is stay curious. And I feel like if you stay curious, like that's where the fun is, right?
That is where the fun is. Yes. I agree. And what a good way to end the show, because I know I've held you for too long, because Dan the man is so busy that he's actually going straight into another podcast interview. In conclusion, which will wrap it up as well, I want to test Dan. Dan, flat white, is New Zealand the home of the creation of flat white, or was it Australia and Sydney? I saw that online recently, and there's a debate about it. And if you don't know, look it up and then just message me and tell me what you think. If it was New Zealand that created it or some cafe in Sydney, Australia.
I like it.
But Dan, you're on the show again next week or the week after when we're doing the three-way with Liam. So I'm so excited for that. We won't tell the listeners what it's about. It's not like a three-way. Like, you're not getting on there like,
Right.
But you can come on the show anytime. I love you. The listeners love you. You have the best voice. You're such a good friend. And I strive each day just to be more like you.
I love you, Sonny. I'm so proud of you. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming. And thank you for listening to True Tall Tales, everyone. My name's Sonny Boy. His name is Dan. I'm out.